Yeah, it's true. I do have adoptive parents, and what's even more true is when my parents passed away, they trusted these people to raise me. It was like they're close friends. And they even had a weird conversation years before, and they said, well, if anything ever happens to us, well, I'll raise your kid, and if something happens to you, well, you'll raise mine. Or other way around. Anyways, here's where things get a little crazy. It turns out, well, the parents were not right at all, because the friends wanted to take advantage of the parents by taking all the money that was supposed to go to OP's college, and they gave it to their daughter, the same people that promised they would watch after if anything happens to her. But guys, that's just the start of the story. This one has a lot of twists and turns. I hope you're ready. I'm furious and I don't know what to do. I just found out that the people who were supposed to care after me, after my parents passed, people I trusted completely betrayed me. Some backstory: my parents, Mark and Sarah, passed away in a tragic car accident when I was 12. It was devastating and I lost everything in an instant. I had no other family to take me in, so my parents' closest friend, John and Linda, stepped up and offered to adopt me. At the time, I thought they were doing something amazing by taking me in. They told me that they would care for me like I was their own, protect me, and honor my parents' wishes. They were even in my parents' will as my legal guardians in case of an emergency. Well, turns out that was all a lie. My parents were not rich, but they worked hard to make sure I'd have a secure future. They set up a college fund for me and left enough in their estate to cover not only my education but also any other expenses I might have until I was old enough to live on my own. John and Linda knew about this. They promised me and everyone else that they would make sure the money was there when I needed it. Fast forward to now. I'm 18 and just a few weeks away from graduating high school. A month away from starting college, or at least I thought I was. I started applying to school last year and was excited about the opportunity ahead. But when I tried to access my college fund to start making plans, I found out that it was gone. Not just like a little bit, no, all of it. I was completely blindsided. At first I thought there had to be some kind of mistake. Maybe there was a banking error or something. My parents' lawyer might have overlooked it, but no, it was not a mistake. After some digging, a lot of unanswered questions from John and Linda, I found out the horrifying truth. They took my money. Apparently, they forged documents to gain access to my college fund years ago. They used it to pay for their biological daughter Haley's private school tuition and her upcoming college expenses. Let me repeat that. They stole my parents' hard-earned money. Money meant for my future. And spent it all on their daughter. Haley, by the way, 17, and had everything handed to her whole life. Private school, lavish vacations, designer clothing, you name it. Meanwhile, I've spent the last 6 years in their home feeling like an outsider. I wasn't treated like their daughter. It was more like some charity case that they had to deal with. While Haley got the best of everything, I was left to figure out things on my own. They didn't care about my interests, didn't support me emotionally, and never have even celebrated my achievements. It always felt like I was living in her shadow. And now I know why, because to them I never mattered as much as she did. And Haley, she's the absolute worst. She's spoiled, entitled, and completely dismissive of me. She's always flaunted her privilege, making it clear that she's the priority in the family. She's made snide comments about how I was lucky to be taken in and constantly belittled me for not having what she does, all while she was literally benefiting from the money that should have been mine. I confronted John and Linda about it after I found out, and their response made everything even angrier. They didn't deny it. Instead, they tried to justify it. They said things like, we're a family, and families share. And Haley's education was a priority at the time. Are you kidding me? This wasn't their money to share. It was my parents' money, left specifically for me. When I pushed harder, they had the audacity to tell me that I should be grateful for everything they've done for me. Grateful for what exactly? For taking me in and treating me like a second-class citizen? For stealing the one thing my parents left to ensure I had a future? I don't even know what to do right now. I can't afford college without that money, and they obviously don't care. They spent it all, so it's not like they can magically give it back. I feel completely stuck and betrayed, and what makes it worse is that this isn't just about the money. It's about the fact that they never saw me as part of their family. They were my parents' closest friends. They were supposed to protect me. Instead, they used me, lied to me, prioritized their own daughter over me at every turn. I'm so angry I can't even think straight. I don't know if I should go to the police, get a lawyer, or what. Part of me wants to blow up their entire life and make sure everyone knows what they did. But I'm scared. I've spent the last 6 years relying on them, and I don't know how to navigate this on my own. Has anybody been through something like this? Is there any way to get justice here, or am I just messed up? Because they've already spent the money, I feel so helpless. Guys, I've worked so hard to get to this point, doing my best in high school, getting good grades, dreaming up about a good college. And now it feels like everything has been ripped away from me because of their selfishness. Ugh. Anyways, I'll update you soon enough. Update number 1. Hey, everyone. I wasn't planning to post again so soon, but I feel like I'm going to explode if I don't get this out. It's been about a week since I found out that my adoptive parents, John and Linda, stole my college fund. The money my late parents had left me just to secure my future, and if I'm being honest, my life has done nothing but spiral even more since then. First off, thank you to everybody who actually posted a comment of help. Who messaged me after my first post. Guys, I read through so many of your responses, and let me just tell you, it's been absolutely overwhelming, in a good way, to see so many people supporting me. It makes me feel less alone, even though I'm stuck in the middle of this absolute nightmare. But things at home have gone bad to worse. Ever since I confronted John and Linda, the atmosphere in the house has been, unbearable. Ugh. They barely speak to me unless they're snapping at me for something. And Haley, who's already insufferable, is now outright cruel. She must have caught wind of the confrontation, and now she's taunting me more than ever. She walks around the house flaunting her new clothing and bragging about how excited she is for college, paid for with my money. Yesterday, she waved her acceptance letter in my face, saying, "Too bad, you won't get experience like this, huh?" I can't even describe how furious and helpless I felt at the moment. I wanted to scream at her, but what would that change? She doesn't care, none of them do. And the worst part is, I think they're getting ready to kick me out. They haven't outright said it, but I can feel it in the way they're acting. It's like they're trying to make me so miserable that I leave on my own. They've been giving me the silent treatment most of the time, but when they do talk to me, it's always something cold and condescending. Linda even said the other day, "You're 18 now. You should, start thinking about how you're going to take care of yourself." Take care of yourself with what? So they've left me with nothing, and I don't even have $1. I don't have a job lined up, and I'm still in high school, and I've been trying to figure out my next steps. But I feel completely and utterly paralyzed. I don't know where to start. Well, I can't stop thinking about how much my parents loved me and how hard they worked to make sure I'd be okay if anything happened to them. They trusted John and Linda to do the right thing, and this is what they did. Instead, it makes me sick. I've been trying to stay strong, but I can't lie. There have been moments when I just break down. I know it sounds dramatic, but I honestly hope hell is real, because people like John, Linda, and Haley deserve to be there for what they've done. They took me in, pretended to care, and stole the one thing that I had left from my parents. It's like they've completely erased me. Update number 2. Hey, everyone. It's been a few weeks since my last post, and I finally have a chance to update. A lot has happened, some good, some still frustrating, but I'm determined to move forward. I just wanted to say thank you again to everybody who reached out with support, advice, and kind words. It means more than I can say. First, the good news. I graduated high school about 2 weeks ago. It was bittersweet, to be honest. I didn't have anyone cheering for me in the audience. John and Linda did not even bother to show up. But I held my head high and focused on what was ahead. The best news, I got accepted into my dream school with a full-ride scholarship. I was worried about how I'd afford college after everything, but this was like a miracle. I still don't know how I pulled it off, especially with everything going on at home. But I'm grateful. It feels like a tiny piece of justice knowing I'll still get to go to college despite what John and Linda did to me. Now for the reality check. Even with the scholarship, I'm not completely out of the woods. I've been left to fend for myself for so long that I learned how to stash away money from the jobs that I worked for after school and on weekends. Thankfully, I had the sense to keep it safe, away from John and Linda. Fortunately, I hid my savings at a trusted friend's house. It's not a lot, but it's enough to get my own feet wet for now. I can cover some basic expenses while I prepare for college, but it's nowhere near enough to hire a lawyer or go after them for what they did. Well, that said, I'm not giving up. I'm adamant about making John and Linda pay for what they did. I don't just mean financially. I want them to face real consequences for stealing my inheritance and leaving me in this mess. They don't get to walk away from this like nothing happened. Right now, I'm researching my options. I've been looking into free legal aid services and organizations that might be able to help me with my case. I've also documented everything, every shred of evidence that I can find that proves they took my money. The more I dig, the angrier I get, but it also fuels my determination. Haley is still as awful as ever, by the way. She's been gloating nonstop about her college plans. Ugh, knowing full well that her education's being funded by my money. She hasn't apologized or even acknowledged what her parents did. She just keeps rubbing it in my face. Honestly, I don't expect anything less from her. As for John and Linda, they both have been weirdly quiet. I think they're hoping I'll just let this go and move on, but they could not be more wrong. I haven't confronted them again since the last blow-up, but I'm keeping my distance and focusing on what I need to do to secure my future. I know. It's going to take time, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to hold them accountable. Whether it's through the courts or some other avenue, I'm not letting them get away with this. They stole my parents' money, my trust, and years of my life, and I won't let them do it to someone else. For now, I'm focusing on getting through the summer and preparing for college. It feels like I'm finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. But I guess I still have a long road ahead. Update number 3. Hey guys, long time no see. I'm back for an update, so get this. A few days ago, I got a message from someone claiming to be my uncle, my mom's brother. To say I was shocked would be an understatement. I had no idea I even had an uncle. My parents never mentioned him, and as far as I knew, they were my only family. Naturally, I was skeptical at first, but after talking with him and piecing things together, I'm starting to believe he's legit. Apparently, he had been estranged from my mother for years. He told me there was a big rift between them because of my grandparents who, according to him, played blatant favorites. My mother was the golden child, and he was always pushed aside, which caused a lot of resentment between them. Eventually, they stopped talking altogether. It's heartbreaking to think about it, especially since my mom never told me about him or the situation with Gramps. I guess she wanted to protect me from the messy family dynamic, or maybe she thought it wasn't worth bringing up. Either way, my uncle did not even know I existed until recently. He was trying to reconcile with my mom, only to find out that, she and my dad had passed away. That's when he decided to reach out to me, her only child, in an effort to make amends and do better. At first, I didn't know what to think. I've spent so much time alone and guarded, especially after what John and Linda did. What I wasn't sure if I could trust him. But after talking with him over the past few days, I've decided to give him a chance. He seems genuinely remorseful about the mistakes he made with my mom and is determined to help me however he can. I told him everything, about my parents' death, about John and Linda taking me in, and of course about how they stole my college fund and left me to fend for myself. He was horrified. He couldn't believe the people my mother had trusted had done something so awful, and he immediately offered his assistance. Here's the big news, guys. He's going to help me sue John and Linda, and he's got some savings and connections, and he's willing to foot the legal bill to make sure they face consequences for what they did. I couldn't believe it when he said that. For the first time in what feels like forever, I feel like I actually have someone in my corner. On top of that, I'm planning to leave John and Linda's house soon. My uncle has offered to let me stay with him while I get back on my feet and prepare for college. I know it's a huge gamble, a trust, a relative I've just gotten to know, but my instincts and honestly my desperation are telling me to take a chance. Staying here with John, Linda, and Haley is unbearable, and I need to get out. I'm scared, though. As much as I want to believe my uncle has good intentions, I can't shake the fear of being let down again. But at this point, I feel like I have to try. I have to take the risk. I can't keep living like this, and I am determined to fight back against the people who betrayed me. I'll be packing up what little of my belongings I have and leaving. It feels surreal to finally be taking this step forward for freedom and justice, but it also is terrifying. I'll try to update again once I settle in and we started the legal process. I'm really hoping this is the start of something better. Final update. This is going to be a crazy one. 2 years later. Hey, it's been 2 years since my last post, and I want to start by apologizing for the delay in updates. Life has been a whirlwind, and I've been so caught up in moving forward that I did not know how to put everything into words. But I've been thinking about the incredible support that I got here, and I knew I needed to share what's happened since then. First, the big news. I filed a lawsuit against John and Linda, and I won. With my uncle's support, financially, emotionally, and even just helping me navigate the legal system, I took John and Linda to court for stealing my college fund. The case wasn't easy. They fought hard, tooth and nail, to deny their wrongdoing. But the evidence, you can't fight that. Undeniable, baby. I had the forged documents they used to access the funding, proof of where the money went, and even some witnesses who confirmed their action. In the end, the court ruled in my favor. John and Linda were ordered to repay every single penny of my stolen college fund, along with the additional damages for the betrayal and hardship that they caused me. That money is now safely stored in a bank account that only I have access to. Well, and the bank, of course. But while I don't need it to pay for school, thanks to my full ride scholarship, I've been careful with it, knowing it's a safety net for my future. As for John and Linda, the court's ruling left them financially devastated. They had to sell assets and make significant lifestyle changes just to repay what they owed. And Haley was hit hard. Without the stolen funds to pay the tuition, she had given up her college plans entirely. I'll admit I indulged in some petty revenge of that. After everything Haley put me through, mocking my parents' death and rubbing her privilege in my face, I couldn't resist a few pointed comments. I told her how ironic it was that her golden life came crashing down, all because her parents could not resist stealing what wasn't theirs. From what I've heard, Haley's still struggling. She's been pampered and spoiled her whole life, so losing that cushion hit her hard. She's bouncing between low-paying jobs and living at home, just completely unprepared for the reality of having to fend for herself. And honestly, I don't pity her at all. She had no problem flaunting her privileges when I was the one struggling, so I don't feel sorry that karma caught up with her. As for me, I'm in a much better place. I'm in my second year of college, pursuing a degree in engineering, something I've always dreamt about. I love the challenge of creativity that comes with it. I'm excited about the future I'm building for myself. The full ride scholarship has been nothing more than a blessing, and knowing that I've claimed my college fund safely and it's tucked away, it gives me a peace of mind. I plan to use it carefully, whether it's for grad school, investing in my future, or just as a safety net. The most important thing is, it's mine, and nobody can take it from me. Guys, I owe so much to my uncle. He came into my life at a time when I felt lost, and he's been nothing but supportive. So, we've grown really close over the past 2 years. I'm grateful for the second chance and the family that he's given me. He's proof that people can change and make things right, and I'll never forget what he's done for me. To everybody who followed my story and supported me through this, I have 2 words for you. Thank you.